Alright guys, welcome back. Philo in the Philippines. Just a little, before we get into the LTO stuff, I wanted to show you guys, we've talked about this plant in the back here and how the birds were eating the peppers. I don't think it's birds, but I want to show you guys this. Check this out. It's finally producing. You can see I've got some nice ones here. Okay. But then look at this one here. It's half eaten. Is that going to focus? Look at the tip of this one. The tip of this one's gone. Here's one that was completely eaten. Really bizarre. But I've got some nice ones here. Look at this. It's finally producing. But I cannot figure out what in the hell is eating these. You can see I've got some green ones here that are going to focus. I've got some nice green ones all over. Look at this. I've got beautiful green ones that are going to turn. Look at this whole... But again, something is getting to these guys. Look at this one. There's two of them there they're eating. Oh, sorry. Now I don't think that what we have here, are birds that are eating these. Because the only bird that can maintain flight like that would be a hummingbird. So I've got no idea what's eating these plants. Anyway, let's move on. The next part of the video is going to be my LTO experience. And I hope you guys enjoy. It's going to be a talking head. I'm not real good at those, but I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for supporting the channel. Next up, LTO. Extending and renewing your motorcycle registration. Alright, and now let's talk about the LTO and my experience there. Now that you have seen the chili plants again for the 200th time. Sorry to bore you guys, but I live a very boring life. Anyway, LTO, Land Transportation Office in the Philippines. Okay, so before I go into my experience there, I'm down here by the basketball court, by the way. You can see it behind me. I just tried to do something different, you know. I'm not really good at talking heads, but every now and then it's the only way that you can get your point across. So now, first of all, let's talk about what it's like to renew your registration in the US. At least for me, the last few years, the last maybe 10 years or so. In Southern California, we have what's called the Department of Motor Vehicles, DMV. Okay, so now what you do at DMV, it's very, very simple in the US. You go online, pay your money, and within 7 to 10 days, you've got a new sticker in the mail for your license plate. So if you require a smog, which in the US, you only require a smog about every, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, I always had a new vehicle. So getting a smog check, the last smog check that I got, that I remember, I don't even have any idea. Maybe sometime in the early 90s, I got a smog check. I don't know. Anyway, if you do have to get a smog check in the US, it's very simple. You go to one of 100 different mechanics in your city that will do it. The mechanic is connected to the DMV electronically, so he does the smog check for you, sends it off to DMV. There's nothing you ever have to do. You go back home, log onto your computer, and you pay your registration online, and within 7 to 10 days you've got the registration in the mail. It's no big deal. It's a very, very simple process. Now, but many people in the USA hate the DMV, and it's probably because they've never lived in the Philippines and had to do it this way. So, yeah, we Americans, a lot of times, we're so spoon-fed we don't realize how good we've got it. You know what I mean? And so now let's talk about the LTO, which is the Land Transportation Office here in the Philippines. This is where you go for your driver's license renewal, your car registration, your motorbike registration, whatever it is that you're getting done, you go to the LTO office to accomplish that, okay? But guess what? There's nothing online, or there's no emissions test center that's connected to the LTO. Those sort of things don't exist here. You got to go there and do everything in person. Much the same as making a deposit at the bank. A lot of the banks here, you have to be face to face with a teller to make a cash deposit to your account. They're changing that here a little bit. There are some ATM machines now that accept deposits of cash into your account, but yeah, if you're going to make a cash deposit at BDO, a lot of times you've got to go into the bank, and you might wait 2 hours to be face to face with a teller to make your cash deposit. But anyway, let's. I digress. We're talking about the LTO now. So here's my story with LTO. I went there on, was it Thursday or Friday morning? On my own, I went, and they have these people called fixers that pull you in from the street, and you don't know if these guys are, you know, it's. For those of you who have traveled the Philippines, you know what it's like to be bombarded by people when you get off a jeepney. If you're going to be on a ferry, you're going to take a ferry to Puerto Galera, to Boracay. You got these people that bombard you. Hey, come with me, and they want to grab you because if they take you to the right window, they get a commission. Okay, it's the same thing here at LTO. I was met with somebody's called a fixer. And I don't trust anybody here, you know what I mean? Because it's just, when you're a foreigner, things are 10 times worse here for you than if you're a Filipino. And this guy grabbed me. He said, "Okay, come this way, sir." So I remembered last year, because this is the second time that I've renewed my motorcycle registration. I remembered what I had to do. So he pointed me towards an insurance agency, which he probably got a commission for, and that's okay. It doesn't bother me. It's the same price. Whatever insurance company you go to, it's the same price. You're going to pay. The insurance is 650 pesos, you guys. And what that gets you is 100,000 pesos of liability insurance. That is the standard underwrite that you're going to get here in the Philippines. It's 100,000 pesos of liability insurance. And that costs you 650 pesos for the year, okay? Now that's standard. That's what everybody gets. And I don't know why you would buy anything more. 100,000 is probably enough to cover, you know, any type of damage you might do to somebody's vehicle. I don't know. Anyway, I was able to get that done. The girls that were in there were very nice at the insurance company. But what struck me as odd is the fact that I'm looking around in this office. There's 4 different desks, 4 different girls. They've all got PCs in front of them, but they've also got electric typewriters from the 1980s, like an old Brother typewriter. Ding! Ding! And they're using those typewriters. They've got a PC. Now, remember, they've got a PC right in front of them. They also have right next to them this old Brothers typewriter from the 1980s, and they're using carbon paper in this typewriter. And they're pushing the carbon paper down there, and they're typing up your insurance policy with a copy off the carbon paper. Again, they have a PC right in front of them. Okay, so where the disconnect is, I don't know, because one printer for the office they could connect 8 computers to, and I don't know. Anyway, you guys know the Philippines is about 30 years behind when it comes to processes, technology, but I thought that was kind of odd that she's using a typewriter with carbon paper when she has a PC right in front of her. Anyway, so that's all I got done that day. I went back to, so once I got the insurance policy, I paid my $650, got my insurance policy. I don't have it with me because Cousin June borrowed the motorcycle. I wanted to show you what the policy looked like, but Cousin June borrowed the motorcycle today to go to Monumento to pick up some medication for his daughter. But anyway, once I got that done, they said, okay, Poe, go back to emissions. So I went back to the emissions center. Now here in the Philippines, you need an emissions test every single year that you register your motorbike or your car. Doesn't matter what year it is, you know, how new your vehicle is. They want an emissions test every single year. So I go back there, I hand my paperwork in to the girl. She looks at me, her eyes get, you know, giant because she's got a foreigner in front of her now. She's got to speak English. So she hands my paperwork to somebody else and she says something like, I'm sure she says something like, oh, I don't want to deal with him. You deal with him. The next guy, he looks at me and his eyes get as big as you know, $2 silver because now he's got to speak English. He hands it off to somebody else and says probably the same thing. I don't want to talk to this guy. You deal with him. So finally, the third guy takes my paperwork and he says to me, I'm sorry, Poe, but we are no longer doing gas inspections today. We're only doing diesel inspections. This was about, I don't know. This was probably about noontime on Friday. So I got there a little bit late. I couldn't get my emissions test. He recommended that I come back at 6 a.m. on Monday. So that's what we did. I waited the weekend. This time I took Johnny B with me. I asked Johnny B, will you go with me? He's like, yeah, no problem. I'll go with you. Now I've got a translator. Okay, so I'm not going to have any problems. Again, not a lot of foreigners in North Caloocan, and you guys know already the Filipinos are very, very shy to speak English. They just don't want to do it. They don't want to deal with you if you're an English-speaking person. So Johnny B goes with me, and we are successful. We get there at about we get there Monday morning at about 7 a.m. and we're successful. I'm about the 5th person in line. Okay, they do the smog check on my bike. Boom! I get my certificate. We go around to the we stop at the Carinderia. We have breakfast. There's 4 Carinderias at the LTO, which is very convenient because you're going to wait a long time in most cases to get this done. And we go around to the LTO office, turn in my paperwork, and we're sitting there for probably an hour and a half. Finally, they call my name. Oh, by the way, the emissions test was 400 pesos. Okay, that's what they charge. So now Johnny B and I are sitting in the LTO office. We're waiting on my paperwork to be done. And finally, about an hour and a half after sitting there, and it's hot. There's no aircon in there. No aircon at all. It's just booming hot. I told you guys, it's 38°C here every day now. Summer has arrived in the Philippines early. God, I'm losing my voice. Sorry. Anyway, I get the paperwork. 562 pesos, okay, for vehicle registration renewal. So here's the totals. And that took about 90 minutes. And I got my paperwork. However, they ran out of stickers, which I don't know. I don't really know what the whole sticker thing is about. I've never seen a sticker on anybody's license plate anywhere in the Philippines. But apparently now they have stickers that say, you know, the year that you registered, or sorry, the month and year that you registered. It must be something new. I don't know. They ran out of stickers, told me to come back in 2 weeks, so I'm still not done. I still have to go back in 2 weeks to get my sticker for my license plate. Now, will I do that? Probably not. I've got the registration paperwork. I don't really care about the sticker. I might go back and get it, but do I really want to hassle with it? Probably not. And I've got the receipt saying that I paid the registration. That's going to be enough if I get stopped by anybody. So I'm not really too worried about the sticker. And we'll see. We'll just see. I'll update you guys on that. So anyway, we've got, here are the costs. 562 pesos for registration. 400 pesos for emission test. 650 pesos for insurance for 1 year, which is 100,000 pesos of liability insurance. And the grand total is 1,612 pesos for the whole thing, which is $32.24 US. So, everybody talks about how things are so expensive here in the Philippines. Now, $32 is pretty cheap, in my opinion, for registration for a year. And that's what it cost me to re-register my motorbike. 1 year in the Philippines, $32.24, guys. Thanks for watching. That's going to be it. My next video is going to be Philo's first medical checkup here in the Philippines and how that went. And unfortunately, you guys, it's not good news for me. And I'll go into that in the next video. We'll cover that, which probably won't be till Saturday because I've got to go back to the hospital tomorrow for an ultrasound. So, yeah, not good news. Anyway, thank you so much for watching Philo in the Philippines. We appreciate your support. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it gave you some kind of an idea without being too bored. Again, I'm not a talking head video person. I hope it didn't bore you too much. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate your support here on Philo in the Philippines. Thanks again. Bye now.